Well, hello everyone. My name is Rick Pasek, a fly fish fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Right away off the bat, sicker than a dog, so if I cough or my wife coughs, sorry. It's just got to get a bunch of these videos recorded before I take off for the Denver fly fishing show in a week. So this was the day. So I've been doing a bunch of chironomids. I've done a couple of North American style chironomids. I did a British style buzzer. I've done a shipman's buzzer. I've done a wet fly, all midge related. This will be my last of my midge related ones. And this will be a super simple shuttlecock. So a emerger. I absolutely love these when the fish are taken on the surface. So I'm just using some nano thread. This is from Hens nano thread, black. And then I'm going to be using some Hens CDC for call it the wing. This is the nano thread is going to be the body. Then I'm going to be using some small or extra small silver wire, which I had out here. Might have to cut a new piece off. Extra small silver wire for the rib, and a little bit of the Hens hair dubbing plus as my thorax. Very simple fly, but again, it's supposed to. Oh, and this is a Hens BL 550. I'm using a size 10 because 14 I find is too hard to show you guys what. It's much nicer to have a big one, and I don't have any size 12, so I'm waiting for my order to come in from Czechia, because that's where Hens is located. So, okay, so I'm just going to take this all the way down around the corner, almost to the hook. I mean, to the vise. Okay, and then I'm just going to open wraps, come back up. Can I get my silver wire? I found it sitting here over here. And this is 0.1 silver wire. You could use 0.2 if you wanted, but I like leaving, first of all, I like leaving these light, and I don't want to have too much, it doesn't need to stand out that much as much with as 0.2 would. Okay. Counterclockwise spinning my thread to flatten it. And I'm just going to make sure that I cover this whole body nice, so there's nice black body. And like I said, this is a big one. Like, this would be the biggest, by far the biggest that I would tie this in. Usually I tie these in a 12 and in a 14, sometimes even a 16, but 12 and 14 seem to be my go-to for these. Okay, take my wire, rib this forward. This first few can be a little tricky just because it's down around that corner. But rib this forward. Tie that off, leaving a bit of space up here for your thorax section. This is another one of those stuck in the shuck, stuck in the surface film, too weak to continue type patterns, right? So it's almost a fully developed adult, but not quite, right? So, okay. So now I'm going to take some CDC. And I probably should have done this off camera beforehand, but I didn't. And sort through and find a couple of good feathers. Now that I'm getting down to the nitty gritty of this pack of black here. Now you can tie this if you don't, because the fish won't really see this a lot. So if you want to have, you can tie this with a yellow or any brighter color as a sighter. But I like having them with the color of the body, because I know where my fly is, and I look for the splash or the take. So all I did is took two, and I'm just stacking them on top of each other, making sure their tips are lined up as best as I can, which is like that. Okay. And then I'm going to have this facing forward, and depending on how much of a wing I want, see right about there, making sure this stays up on top. Bring this right to the eye of the hook, not quite to the eye. You want to leave a little bit of room in the front because you want to be able to go in the front there, come back again, about to there. And now I can, if I want, cut this off here and just leave a little bit of a back wing, or I can just cut this there. It's up to you. I like cutting it back like this, and then I'll just make sure I lash this down and build up a bit of almost a taper. Now, this part here, I like taking a little bit of a different color, not the black. So I'm going to go with this kind of brownie orange. It's number 22. Look at one that's kind of empty there, this one. And just build a little bit of a thorax out of that. Now, you can build it with whatever you want. If you want to stay very simple black, it works like a charm too. This is more just a little bit of a, hey, what's that? A little bit of a difference, right? That's all it is. It's got nothing to do with the natural or anything like that. It's just something different for the fish. So now I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to build up 20 or 30 turns in front, and that'll help that hold that up. Okay. And whip finish right in front. And in this one, I will put Sally's right onto the thread. A lot of my flies, I do the Sally's after. I'll tie about a dozen or two up and then do it. But with these, because of the CDC and stuff, I don't want to get it on that. So I will do it now. And I will hold all that stuff out of the way, all that CDC out of the way, as best as I can without getting any of my fingies. And get that in there. Cut that off. And then I will give this just a slight little, helps if you use the side that's got the Velcro, just a little bit of a pull out. And if there's anything weird along like that, pull it out. But just a little bit. You don't want this crazy. That's about it. And that's it. So this will, because CDC floats, this will sit in that surface film, something like that, right? So let me see if I can adjust the camera. So that's how kind of it'll sit in the surface film. So it'll almost sit like that underneath the water. So that's all you'll see underwater, or all the fish will see, is that. So that's why I said if you want to put this as a cider. Now this will get it. Don't get me wrong. This stuff will sink. Just you got the one key is you got to make sure you're using monofilament, not fluorocarbon as a leader with any of these emerger or dry flies, because fluorocarbon, it will just pull these little flies under. They're just so small, they'll just get pulled under. So, alrighty. So super simple. The other thing I normally do, I just didn't for the video just because of time, is before I even start building the thorax and everything, I'll whip finish there. I'll tie about a dozen of these up, and I'll coat my body with Sally Hansen's or with UV resin, let those dry, and then I'll come back and finish the thorax and the shuttlecock or the cider. Okay, I like having the body protected, so I just put I prefer Sally's, just a really, really thin coat of Sally's, hard as nails. And the reason for that is it soaks in better. And if you take a look, it really, I'm just going to show you a totally different fly, not an emerger, but this is coated with Sally's, and you can see that it still has that segmented look and all that stuff, right? And it doesn't add any weight or anything to it. So, all right. So that's the fly. I tie these in browns. tie these in blacks, tie these in greens, tie these in reds, but brown, black, and olive, light olive are my top colors. And I tie them anywhere from a size. This is big. Like I said, this is big. 10s. I'll have a few in my box, but 12, 14, 16s. So, alrighty. Fish these really slow again. Just they're stuck in the shuck. They're like you're fishing a shipman's buzzer or any other stuck in the shuck style chironomid midge, right subsurface. And it's one of those. It's one of those flies you just want to just barely move. If you haven't read an article, there's an article out there by a fellow named Gary Hankey. It's called Rise Forms. If you ever get a chance, go take a look. If you don't know, if you can't find it, you can always message me or just leave a comment here on this, and I'll see if I can send you a link. But it is one of the best articles I've ever read on how to read the different types of rises that you see from fish and what they're doing and what that means corresponding to food and feeding and habits and stuff. So yeah, so make sure you take a look for that one. Rise Forms from Gary Hankey. So thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate y'all. And if you've subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, please consider doing so. And we'll see you guys on the next tying video. Tie lines, everyone.